So again, is this the start of a big breakout? Gold and silver bulls will tell you yes. The skeptics say this is just another fake head before the dollar strengthens and knocks the metals down again.
The Morgan Report with David Morgan. Discover how to build and protect your wealth at themorganreport.com.
And David Morgan of the Morgan Report. Welcome back. Where we cover money, metals, and mining. This is the weekly perspective. Well, this is a whirlwind week for the markets, and let's start off with the gold and silver markets. As you can see, and most of you would know, gold hit over 3,000 US on the 14th, and by close it backed off some, so we did breach that magic 3,000 USD, new all-time high in nominal terms, big volume as you can see, and then some profit taking as it tapers off. So it'll be interesting to see whether this is a launch or a setback, meaning will this be a test of the 3,000 and back off, or will it continue? And silver likewise did well on the 14th. As you can see, it got over 34 US. 33 is pretty much what most analysts look at the breakout point down here. Certainly stayed there for a long time. It's not anything close to gold. The gold-silver ratio is still something like 88-1, but it is showing strength, and I think silver may start to outperform here as far as the gold-silver ratio coming down from this level, but that remains to be determined. So again, is this the start of a big breakout? Gold and silver bulls will tell you yes. The skeptics say this is just another fake head before the dollar strengthens and knocks the metals down again, and we will know soon enough. Come over here to our Twitter feed, which is probably the best place to get, information on a daily basis. This is kind of, as I've said before, Web 1.0. I used to cut and paste the news manually myself. That was years and years ago. Today, I just basically tweet or retweet or whatever. It's pretty easy to do. And you can see, this goes directly to the blog. We made that easy for everybody. And then our Twitter feed, as you can see here, the view more thing is kind of cool. You can come down here and find out, who it's for. We also have the documentary right here. So you hit the silversunrise.tv. The site is back up. It was down for a little while. Anyway, it's back up. And filming is done. It's being edited. Episode 7, or I should say section 7 is done. A few more to go. Will be put together. Their trailers are here. This is one basically on kind of the outline. G. Edward Griffin, Foster Gamble, Dr. Vieira, Ellen Brown, myself, Larkin Rose. And there's more videos than that if you come to other features on the website. All right, moving on to oil. Brent crude hovered around 84, while West Texas Intermediate around $80 range. The U.S. is scrambling to refill the Strategic Petroleum Reserve after draining it to multi-decade lows last year. Meanwhile, OPEC Plus is playing the long game. They reaffirmed that their voluntary production cuts, and Saudi Arabia signaled and that there are no rush to boost the output, and the result, a slow grinding squeeze in the market that could push oil up in the coming weeks. Here on the Twitter feed, I have a latest interview that's been published. This one is about the Global Monetary Reserve has already begun. You just click here and you watch the interview. It's also on the blog. And there are a couple of things I post. Got a lot of blowback on this one about how much silver exists in the world. Some of the stuff I don't necessarily agree with. I just post it and I say for the record, like the late great Jim Dines used to do. So he would put stuff out that perhaps he was in disagreement about, but for the record means you have it published. It's there. You can go back to it and say, hey, look at who said this, and that's not what really happened, or that's not really true, or whatever. So just because I publish something here doesn't necessarily I'm in agreement with it. Most of the time, probably I am, but not in every case. Something about the platinum market, I said worth your consideration. This is if you're already kind of stacked up on your gold and silver, but this is kind of almost a no-lose situation. There's very little people that invest in platinum, and you can buy these bullion coins at bullion coin prices, and their mintages are very low because platinum is such a rare metal, 15 times rarer than gold. And because of that fact and the mintages being so low, you can buy a bullion coin, bullion prices, and maybe a decade from now, they'll carry a premium because they are so scarce as far as how many coins have been produced. Something to consider. I'm not advocating that, but something I thought I'd put out for everybody's benefit. Moving on, let's talk about the biggest concerns. Let's talk stocks. After months and months of relentless gains, finally hit a speed bump. The S&P 500 has pulled back from record highs, and the NASDAQ fell about 3%. What's the culprits? Well, lots of things, of course, and higher bond yields, of course, move the equity market. The 10-year Treasury yield jumped back above 4.3%, and that spooked some investors, convincing them that rate cuts were just around the corner. Latest CPI reports showed inflation remained sticky, forcing traders to rethink their bets on the dovish Fed. Tech stocks, of course, were hit the hardest. Apple, Nvidia, Tesla, sharp declines. So is this the start of a bigger correction? Yes, I think it is. However, margin debt being near record high and corporate buybacks have been propping up the prices. We've seen some of the best names in the business, such as Warren Buffett, have certainly gone to cash. Not totally, but biggest cash position for them in the long term. And following up with the biggest concern as well, this is talked about every day by everybody almost in the alt financial media, and that is, of course, debt. We've crossed over, well into the 35 trillion mark or past, and new debt mounting up this year. Foreign demand is drying up, and we have to roll over about 10 trillion this year. In the meantime, we're getting a squeeze on getting an extension on the debt limit. This happens consistently, and it always gets extended, and it's really no point in having a debt limit. But a lot of hoopla, political maneuvering, and a lot of free press surrounds this situation, and of course it'll happen again this year. What's next? Final thoughts, probably gold and silver. I think they've broken out. Again, remains to be seen. Oil, I think, is quietly going to move higher. Stock market looks vulnerable to me, and debt concerns are the big elephant in the room. The Treasury market is showing that. And as always, stay diversified, stay informed. This is David Morgan with another weekly perspective. I'll be back with you next week.